look. We want it to have a lot of versatility and fluidity through the hair. What we'll also do is remove a lot of this weight because her hair is perfect for razor cutting. Yes, it's very dense, however, she has a medium texture that will work really nicely with the razor once we go in and start removing the weight and add a lot of structured definition with the razor. We'll be left with a little bit richer tips on the end, giving it that nice edgy feel. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get Miss Rosie shampooed and start the haircut. We went from high point of the head, the high point of the head here to the high point of the ear, and then we went from forehead to right at the occipital bone. We have made sure that we start at the high point of the occipital and bring it down to the ear base. We're going to start with a little bit of Blade Glide within this back section. Blade Glide is a pharmaceutical grade cutting solution that allows for the hair to stay nice and moist as you're cutting. We're going to take a vertical subsection, nice and tight, not too wide. With the density of her hair, it doesn't need to be more than a half of an inch, if even that. We want this to be pretty tight. So I'm going to go in, and because this is graduation, we're going to move our wrist all the way down, cut directly down. If you see, I'm moving softly through with my wrist. We can see the graduation that has started. Still taking small half-inch or less than half an inch subsection partings. Going in with the razor parallel to the hair shaft. I'm going to take this length off because I really want it short. And that was extra length. We're cutting from shortest to long, so it allows for me to decide how short I want this, and we're going to take it directly to her nape line. You can see all this little bit of extra hair that we have going, but what that's going to do, we're going to remove that later with the nape and body razor once we get finished with this haircut. So it'll be a nice clean line. Has a nice movement. Through here behind the ear, I'm going to go in and just slightly remove that, cutting down. Pick and pull a little bit where I see some longer hairs that I want shorter. So what we're going to do is move to the other side. I'm going to take from shortest to longest again. It's always a great idea to work with the way the hair naturally falls. It's important to keep the hair good and damp. It's gotten nice and dry, so we're going to spray it again with the Blade Glide. I'm using the styling razor right now. Most of y'all know it as a black handle. However, I like our nice silver handle that we have as well. Through here, remember I took a little bit of length off over here. Doing the same thing on this side. We're going to clean up this area. Take that out with the nape and body here in a little while. Now we're going to take pie subsections from just below the crown to this length. So we're going to cut from longest length to shortest length, down. Then we're going to connect the two. Graduation is always when your fingers are moving. If we were layering, then our fingers would be more stationary. I'm going to go in. Nice soft wrist and movement with the razor because we don't want to have to go back and do a lot of personalizing on those ends as time goes on. We can see the cut shaping up really nicely. Still working off just below the crown. On diagonals, more as we get to the sides. Remember, we're using pie subsections. We're moving to right above the the top of the ear now. We're going to slightly over direct it. Take your length off, and then we'll move to the next side. We're connecting these two areas, just like before. Going through, razor is parallel to the hair. Still moving in a graduated cut. Once again, move the hair, look at it, see if you're liking it, loving it, actually. We're going to shorten it a smidge more on this side. Still nice and damp, thanks to that pharmaceutical grade silicone in Blade Glide. Keeps the hair moisture longer. Picking and pulling, looking at it, feeling it, seeing what I want shorter and what I want longer. We're seeing a little bit of fun texture going on. We're able to move it, shape it, however she wants to now. So now we're going to move into the sides, right through here. What we're going to do is over direct this slightly so that we maintain some of the length. I really want to keep it somewhat short around the front of her face. If you'll notice, I've switched to RLX razor just to show you that the styling razor itself, the styling blades, can be interchanged into any of our razor handles. Continuously moving back, once again going in and graduating out, maintaining a little bit of length through here, and then we're going to over direct this again to that same area. If you like guides, this is a good way to use them. We're using a real soft wrist when we go in. If you notice, I'm never using my arm. I'm going to go in. I want it a little shorter right through here. We're going to figure out what we're going to do around the front of the face when we use the shears in a little bit. As we did on the other side, we're going to over direct back and graduate down to remain or to maintain length in the front so that we can play with it at the end. We're going to give her a nice fun fringe area that allows for her to have a lot of movement and shape and flexibility. All right, so now we're going to move to that top section. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start with this top area that is still very long and very dense. We're going to connect it to the back and move into that front fringe area that we're going to have a lot of fun with. We're also going to do some structured definition and weight release through this area and make it really have that edgy, jagged feel that she'll have a lot of fun with. Once again, no wider than your fingers. Moving up. Fingers are stationary, they do not move as we layer the hair. Last section. All right. We're looking at the way her hair naturally grows, which is directly this way. This looks very heavy. We see a lot of definition within the cut thanks to the razor because of that perfection within imperfection. However, I want to see more. So we're going to go in, I'm going to put the fine end of the comb in, pull out about 45 degrees. What you're going to find is that it's an imperfect subsection underneath. That is okay. What we're looking for is to give a little bit of definition and remove some weight. We're going to go in at the midsection of the hair, lay the razor in parallel to the hair section, and cut out a V. Like this. Then we're going to go in on the next side. Same thing. I'm watching it, keeping it about 45-degree angle from the head. That way I can look and see what it does automatically. Now you can see more visual interest through here, and it's taken out that weight without collapsing the style. She still has a lot of great volume, a lot of great fluidity and movement. We're going to go ahead and do that throughout the head. and give it some structure as well as a little bit more visual interest. On this side,